This has been my anthem for the Redskins this season. I've tried to be as positive as possible and stand behind the team, but I don't think I can. I can't do it anymore.
Stop it. Yes, that's right.
After yesterday's debacle to the one-win Tampa Bay Buccaneers here on our home stadium of FedEx Field.
After a bye week.
After it's awful. Trevor Matich, our Redskins analyst, joins us right now. Trevor, it's over, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but that horse is way out of the barn.
Well, we're blaming you for yesterday's loss. So
you had us all excited about a win.
Defend yourself.
Well, I defend myself by saying that by some metrics, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year coming into yesterday's game was ranked as the worst NFL team since the 2009 Rams went 1-15.
Wow.
And the Redskins had them at home. And the Redskins got blown out.
So maybe the worst team in the NFL currently, maybe the worst in some time. They're coming off a bye week, and they're at home. And they still lost by 20 points.
Yes, and the thing is, the Redskins did a fine job, actually a better job of beating themselves than Tampa Bay did. But this is this Redskins team. This is what they do. Coming off a bye week, they had all kinds of goofy, ridiculous mishaps that a high school team shouldn't have off a bye week. Things like, not getting the snap count right, not lining up right, jumping off sides, just all kinds of crazy, goofy stuff that should never happen in this scenario, and they contributed to their own demise.
All right, the crowd at FedEx Field, those who did show up, were
you saw that a crowd?
None too pleased. They were chanting, "We want Colt, we want Colt," of course, referring to backup quarterback Colt McCoy. RG3, after the game, said this.
It takes 11 men. It doesn't take one guy. That's proven.
Well, is this a problem with the quarterback, or is it really an 11-player 22-player, 55-player problem?
Yeah, let's add the kicker in there. He missed a couple as well. No, this is everybody. This isn't just Robert. But the thing is, you can usually tell if the quarterback is the guy that's leading the way and the rest of the team is dragging him down. You can tell if the quarterback is dragging down the rest of the team. In this case, it was a mutual misery society. And he's right that it was everybody. The offensive line didn't block well. But he was sacked 6 times in part because he wouldn't get rid of the ball. And
Jay Gruden pointed that out.
Right. And one of the things that Jay Gruden said in the postgame press conference was really disturbing. He said, we need to find out what Robert's good at. Well, now, wait a minute. You need to find out what Robert's good at.
What have they been doing?
If you don't know what Robert's good at, then he's not good at it.
Well, hold on just a minute, and I have to go down this path, and I'm sorry. So we've got a guy that hasn't won a game for the Redskins in over a year. Admittedly, he's been out some of that time with an injury, but he hasn't won a game in over a year. Since he's come back, he's 0-2. We have a quarterback that led the team to a victory over one of the best teams in football. The Dallas Cowboys at the time was one of the hottest teams in the league, and yet we have made a decision that we're going to go with Robert Griffin III. It seems to me that the decision to go with RG3 is more about trying to prove the owner trying to prove that his decision about RG3, giving away the farm to get RG3, was a good one, because if he can't make that case, he looks pretty stupid.
Well, Brian, first, it was interesting that most people would say 0-2. You made the point to say 0-2. I thought that was an interesting little insight.
He's a Texan. He likes to say 0. 0, yeah.
Also, in the last 17 starts that Robert has had since the 2012 season, which was a magical season. But now, put that one in the books. He started 17 games since then. He's won 4 of them.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins has started 9 games. He's won 2 of them. Now, we have a very small sample size on Colt, and I wouldn't get too excited because, teams, once they get film on you, once they're able to game plan for you, it's a lot more difficult to sustain success than it is to have it initially. And Colt had initial success in his first couple of outings, but, the sample size is small. But whether or not it's the owner that wants RG3 to play right now, I think is not important. I think it is important for the team to make sure that they know what they have and what they do not have in RG3.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about this before, guys, that the Redskins need to know if the quarterback of the future is even on this roster.
Right.
And as far as RG3 is concerned, the investment has already been made. The draft choices are gone. The money is allocated. Now they need to know. And if he's not the guy to go forward, then they need to know that so that they can know whether or not to extend his contract or just let him go.
And the only way to know is to keep playing him. Can I ask you this? So you just mentioned, first of all, Jay Gruden saying we got to know what RG3 is good at. You mentioned the fact that there were missed snap counts, there were stupid penalties, they were their own worst enemy. Is it time to start questioning whether Jay Gruden is capable of being a head coach at the NFL level? Coming off a bye week with that kind of sloppy play, you got to blame the coaches at some point.
Well, the coaches are responsible for it, Larry, but I think Jay Gruden actually is going to be a very good coach, a very, very good coach. And things like the things that you're describing, that he described in the post-game press conference, are not the things that you should have to coach an NFL player to do. Hey, let's have stay on sides drill. Right? Let's have line up right drill. Right?
So you should have gotten that figured out in about high school football,
Have they stopped carrying the players?
I think you've got an institutional issue. When I played for the Colts, my second year there, we were a bad team. And when we fell down by 2 scores, it might have been the first quarter, we got down by 10 points. Guys on the locker room on the sideline would start watching the clock, and they would start talking about what they're doing after the game. And I'm sitting there going, guys, man, we got 3 quarters to go here. Let's win a football game. It's one of the reasons I left as a free agent and came to the Redskins. That's why I know you guys.
Yeah.
But the thing about this Redskins team is that institutionally, almost unbroken for the last 15 years, with a couple of exceptions, this is a program that does not know how to bear down, grind it out, and win a football game. And win a succession of football games.
Yeah.
And you see that on the field. And so I'm not saying the guys are lazy, but they're not doing the things that football players do to get the most out of their capability.
We got to leave it there, sadly. Trevor Matich, always good to have you. We'll talk to you Friday before this next game. Trevor Matich is our Redskins analyst, and his Monday Morning Report is brought to you by Fork Union.